Right guys, again in AMJ series tutorials, and today right again we're going to look about CSS fonts. Did you ask yourself what CSS fonts? It's about font family, adding your font families. So we know how we're going to put the font families. I know that people knows how to add font families, the default font families that are in your text editors and in CSS styles. But today we are going to look on how you're going to put your own fonts that you're going to take them. For example, we're going to download the fonts from Google Fonts and adding our own fonts. So taking your own fonts from the internet, putting on your browser, combine them together and run it. So that's what about HTML and CSS fonts, but it's not the default font, but it is your own font. So let's combine the fonts together and go right in our tutorial and see what steps that we're going to follow and have when preparing our own font. Make sure that you listen careful. Make sure that you follow our tutorials. Make sure that if you have any question, drop it down in our comment section. And right again, let's be together until the last session of our video. So right again, let's jump right in our tutorial and start hearing about HTML own fonts. Today, as we have said, that we're going to look on how to put your own fonts on your website. So focus on these few steps that we're going to teach you today. But before that, we need to tell you, if you don't know how to put this basic structure, then we just need you to go on our previous videos and check and know well how to put them. If you don't know how to link the style.css file, just go on our previous video and you are going to know each and everything. So today we are going to start right in our tutorial here and see how we're going to put the font face, our own font face. So the three steps, the first step is downloading the font. As we have said, we need to download our own fonts and use them on our codes. So let's go on our browser over here. You're just going to type the Google Fonts and just go on Google Fonts. You're going to see many fonts as you need. So there are different type of fonts over here, but what you need to do is just small things. You may choose what type of font that you need. If it's shadow into light, if it's overpass, if it's prompt, if it's any type of font, if it's wedding fonts, if it's any type of font, there are many fonts as you need. So you're going just to click the add icon over here and the font will be added over here. So if it is added, then just click over here, and after you click, you are going to click download. So if you click the download button, the font will be downloaded. So we have already downloaded the font, but we have show you, so as you should know how to download the fonts. So let's go back right on our codes. So we are going to put the h1 tag and write HTML and CSS fonts tutorial. Okay, let's go on our browser, on our page, that is index. If you refresh, you're going to see this text. So these are the default fonts. So remember that you need to download the fonts. We have already downloaded the fonts. We have stored them in our file of fonts over here. You need to extract the fonts. We have these three types of fonts. If you need these three types of fonts, we have linked them on a description box and you can get them over there. So we have extracted the fonts and copy these fonts, open the folders, take the fonts, and we have go in our folder of AMJ series, put the fonts on our folder. So this folder, we have named it as our fonts and put all three types of fonts over here. So that the first step is downloading the fonts. The second step is taking all the fonts and put them on your source file folder. That the folder contains index.html file and the folder contains style.css file. Okay, right. And on this folder you are going to put our fonts. These fonts, you have downloaded them from Google Fonts. So we are going to use them. So we have already seen the two steps. And the last step is declaring the fonts on the style sheet and start using the fonts. So let's go back on our style sheet and write it over here at font face font family on our font family. What you are going to add over here, it's just what type, the name of the font. What is your font family that you need to put here? So let's guess what name we're going to put here. Let's put fonts. Okay, let's put the source file of the font URL, our font slash paste the font dot tff sorry dot ttf. So I think you need to know why we have put the ttf file. This is because our font folder, the file, our texts, our fonts have the T true type font file, so it's ttf file. That's the extension of a font. Okay, we have already declared our font in our font phase, so we need to use it. So let's go and write h1 and font family it's fonts. Okay, let's go right on back on our browser and refresh the page. Yes, that what we have said, you can put your own fonts on your web page, and I think you have seen. So let's finish the two types of fonts that we have put them over there in our folder. Okay, let's add another line, h1 it is best to know what are the uses of fonts. Okay, and let's put another line, congratulations okay, so we have 3 of them, and because all of them we have put the h1 style, so all of them will go all the type of fonts will be the same. So let's change. You're going to put the class font 1, and let's go in our style sheet and start styling our fonts. Let's go back on our fonts and copy the second type of font. And let's go on our third type of font and copy our third font. So let's go right and refresh our browser. So that is what we got. Okay, let's just change over here, font 1, font 2, and let's go on our text over here and just write font 1. Let's copy this and write font 2. Let's refresh the browser. So we have gotten 3 types of fonts that are very different in size. So if you don't see them well. So this is our fonts. So there is the first HTML and CSS font tutorial. It is best to know what are the uses of fonts. Congratulations on adding your own fonts, and we are saying congratulations for watching our video. So let's meet again in our next video tutorial. Thank you very much guys for listening our tutorial, and we are going now to complete our tutorial. So if there is any question that you didn't understand, so just drop it down in our comment section.